Up next, unboxing, testing out, and reviewing the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Combo. ijdm starts now.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Okay, we're gonna look around the box. Nothing interesting. Just some information, this and that and the other. Let's unbox this thing. Whoa. I was not expecting that bulky case. And we got some instructions in here. We have a box of goodies, I'm sure. And what's in here? Okay. Well, first thing is to carry it around. It's a little holder gimmick, and that's pretty much all that's in there. Then we have the actual unit in a nice case, nice carrying case, very nice. Let's just put some of this stuff out of the way here, keep this nice and neat. Yeah, so we have the case, typical case. What am I gonna say about a case? Yeah, you got a carrying thing here, or you can strap it to your belt, I suppose, but it'd be a little bit heavy for that. So here's the actual gimbal camera, and then we'll take that off there, stick that on there, and make sure I don't set that on the lens. I'll just set it right there. It looks like nothing else in that compartment. And in this compartment we have the extended battery pack. I'm not sure if it gives you any more functionality, but basically gives you a longer life. The one thing I like about this is when you tack that on is it gives you a little bit more leverage holding it rather than, but if you're limited on space, obviously, maybe not. Then we got this little guy right here, a little cute little microphone gimmick. This is actually a previous version of the actual one that I reviewed recently, which works just as well, I suppose. And we're trying to get out this thing. It's stuck in there. Good. Oh, geez. Packing this thing up is not going to be easy, is it? Let's see what we got in here. We got a little DJI. Isn't this thing cute? We got a little DJI stand for it. So if you want to, I guess you can't use it with that. You got to have this base unit on here. So we'll just go ahead and put that on here. And then we got another little doodad that connects up. So maybe, what I'm guessing, these are battery packs. Just from, yeah, because this one's like a little smaller version of that one, which I guess makes sense. Then we have the thing you put on the microphone, your wind guard. And it looks like it includes also, well, let's take a look. Includes something else in here. I can't tell what it is. Oh, a little carrying strap for your for the actual camera, and then of course your transfer / power recharging cable in there. So let's see if we can get this thing powered up. I'm curious if you can just operate it like this. This is really awkward, so I'm guessing you might have to put one of the battery packs on. So the screen, oh yeah, it turns on. So you do not need these external things hooked up at all. And we got another sticker there, and we got another sticker right here on the back side of this. And let's see if there's any important information here. While mounting, insert, That's just a warning thing. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put that on just to make it easier to hold for now. So the screen, you can flip it like that, so it's the correct orientation. Definitely right off the box between the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 and this one, that is an improvement. Scan the code with the DJI Mimo app. So I'm going to have to get my phone and scan it before I do anything, before it lets me actually use this camera. So let's just stop down for a minute and go ahead, and I'll get this scanned in my phone. I'll use the DJI Mimo app. Hopefully it works okay on Android. If not, I do have an extra iPhone laying around I can always use. Okay, went through the setup process, the firmware update, and trying to get all the logins done because it wants to register the device. But now that we got all those shenanigans done, we can actually look at the device. First off, out of the box, here's one of my first thoughts. This lens is way, well, let's not go too extreme here. This lens is definitely needs to be a little wider. I did notice in the case that there's a spot for a wide angle lens adapter. However, no wide angle lens adapters anywhere in the box, which is funny because the other creator combo, and maybe it was the Supreme creator combo that we had at the time, did include that. And then something called a Black Pro Mist, which I guess is another filter for the front that sticks on here. That all being said, though, 90% of the time, most people are going to end up losing the wide angle adapter or this. I know it did happen with one of the other ones that we've had. This is pretty much the same as the other ones, just a little bigger because the camera is a little bigger than it used to be. But overall, I mean, as far as the picture quality goes and everything, well, I have to test that out, and that's the next thing we'll do. But first, we're going to go through a few settings. I finally found after a trickiness, you kind of got to finagle a little bit. You got your 1080 2.7 4K, and then your frames that you're shooting in. We're just going to stay in standard 30. I usually shoot 24, although, you know, this, that, and the other. I know there's arguments for everything. And I think how do we access this other menu? There we go. Now we have, if you want custom presets that you can go to real quick. This is for the screen rotate and capture mode. Last settings, video, low light, hyperlapse, just different options and stuff. This is your viewfinder brightness. We will bring this down to about, can we get this at 90? Well, that's good enough. Just a little too bright for me, but selfie mode on or off, which is nice because I'm mostly going to be shooting forward. I'm not really using this for a selfie type thing. Wireless mic, if you want to connect that, that's where you would connect this up. Not in this video, but it sounds comparable to the mic I'm using. Just like I said, it's an older version of it. It's a little bulkier and longer than the one I have. The gimbal startup direction is forward. Rotate screen, power off 2 seconds, wearable mode, and selfie flip, and a bunch of settings, more settings, and more settings. And if you want to shoot to portrait or auto rotation or landscape, we'll keep that landscape. This is how fast your scenarios are when you're moving. We're going to stay with default because that's what usually I will use. And we'll go with follow mode. So we're going to leave it pretty much as is out of the box. As far as navigating this thing there's a couple little trickiness, but you can use the app on your phone, which lets you do some adjustments and so forth and so on. So enough talk. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go outside and just film a few seconds and then take a look at the footage, and we'll see what we think about this new DJI Osmo Pocket 3. All right, now digging around, I'm gonna have to eat some of my words I've said earlier if I haven't deleted them. If they're there, they're there. But and it was one of my concerns. I wouldn't say a gripe or a negative comment, but was the fact that it didn't include the wide angle gimmick. But yeah, there it is. There's actually a little pouch. It's hard to explain where they were slid into, like up in here, and it was all the way at the bottom, so I couldn't even see it. In fact, I'm feeling around now to see if there's anything else, if we got the other filter or what. So this is the wide angle that goes on the front, and the idea here is you just take this, and I believe it doesn't tell you which direction, so it should just, yeah, it just goes right on there. I thought it snapped on a little. Let's see. There's that, and then put this on. I don't see where it's making it wider though. Maybe it goes the other way. It doesn't look like it. No. I'm not sure where I'm seeing this is actually wider or not. Okay, so that's that. And maybe there's something I'm not doing here that I'm not seeing, because it just feels like it should be wider, even with the adapter on there. Let's check this thing out. Okay. Oh man, I don't want to break it. I have a feeling this is a magnet. I don't think there's any type of filter or anything. Yeah, it's a magnet. I'm pretty sure that probably, yep, goes on there in case you want to magnetize onto your shirt rather than clip it, or if you don't have a way to clip it and where it looks decent, you want to put it down a little further so it's not underneath your neck. So now that we have the wide angle adapter, I'm just going to go film a little bit. Well, actually, I'm just going to film right here at my desk and just do that. And there's a notice that pops up on the screen. It's kind of hard to see with the brightness difference on the screen there, but yeah, it makes it wider. Yeah, I like that better actually. I don't think I'll leave that on there because I would worry about it falling off. But overall, as far as looking at the quality of the video that I just basically shot and going back and forth and a little magic with editing, I gotta say it's definitely comparable and I wouldn't say a huge upgrade, but definitely an upgrade to the DJI Osmo Pocket 2. The 2 felt a little more nimbler to use. This one feels a little more bulky. I don't know how to explain it. It's nothing negative there. It's just it feels different because it's obviously a redesigned camera with the same kind of form factor that it had before. But overall, could I recommend this to somebody that goes out and does selfies or does anything like that, or wants any type of moving video without a giant gimbal? I would say definitely yes. It's definitely the type of tool that you want in your toolbox and that you can use. For this video, that'll be it. I thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.